Hello, everyone. This is David Rothfeder again, and we are doing session 3 of my playtest of You, Me, and the Zombie. Everyone is back this week, so yeah, let's go ahead and dig in. We took a 1 week break, so we might be a little fuzzy on the details of where we left off. I am going to start with Claire. What do you remember that's important to Claire that's been going on recently?
Let's see. Let me try to run through this. The zombie apocalypse was getting worse. I remember we left off confronting a couple ice agents. That happened. It was outside Aaron's place of employment, and Barb got a little roughed up. I remember like work stuff with Claire's work vaguely, and not all that much else.
Okay, let's go to Aaron because I think Barbara had the big dramatic moment, so I'm going to save her for last. So, Aaron, what do you remember?
So I couldn't keep my eye in its socket, so I cut it out and we threw it down the garbage disposal. It wasn't that cool. Total letdown. Other people don't need to try that. I've already done the experiment. Also, I got called into work, and it was bad because we were having a health inspection, and I had hidden a bunch of dead guy parts in the freezer. So I managed to hide them where the health inspection probably won't find them. It didn't look like they were finding them. But also, none of my coworkers commented on the fact that I really wanted to be in the freezer, and then I only have one eye today. I mean, I've got like a Band-Aid over it, but that's still a little weird. So I assume there's going to be fallout at some point. And as far as I know, everything is awesome everywhere else, except our freezer busted, and we have to like fix the floor, and how are we going to pay for that? And yeah.
And Barbara, what was going on in your life?
So, what I remember for Barbara, she went into work and she wanted to check and see how her employee was doing because he had been driving a Lyft the night before when we killed a cop. And when I got into work, Ryan Reynolds was there.
Someone who looks like Ryan Reynolds.
And has the name Ryan Reynolds.
I'm sorry.
Or Reynolds.
R. Reynolds.
Yes. So that happened. And then while I think I left the room, made a phone call to Claire to see if she could help out, came back to the shop, noticed some commotion outside, went outside. ICE agents were taking a family into custody. Barb leapt into action, busted out her phone, went on Facebook Live, filmed it all, got put into a zip tie and roughed up. And then Claire showed up and kind of got in the guy's face and then helped me out, brought me some food, which the thoughtfulness caused me to break down. And we went back into the shop. And if I recall, my employee was coming back into the room just as I was saying that we should have Aaron eat the ICE agents.
Yes, he most certainly heard that. And that sounds like a great place to start off our session, except we have a couple of beginning of session things that we need to take care of. The first thing is 3 black chips go into the body bag. And the second thing is 2 of you have to decide what your desires are this week. So last week we had some interesting ones. I believe Claire wanted to finish an article and to take some time to herself. She ended up finishing the article at the expense of pulling an all-nighter.
Themselves, but yeah.
Themselves, sorry. And then Barbara wanted, let's see, to convince Claire that they were wrong to abandon her and Aaron, in that alley. And she also wanted to get Aaron to promise that she won't kill anyone who doesn't deserve it, which sort of sounds like it's happening, maybe, kind of.
I think that one got a lot closer than the convincing Claire, which didn't happen.
You didn't give up on it, which, which obviously is very different. But I'm not going to say good or bad. It just, didn't happen. But yeah, what are some things based on what happened last session that Claire and Barbara really want to do? Now, for those who might not have seen the earlier session, the reason why Aaron doesn't get a desire is because Aaron always wants something, and it's always very much a basic desire.
Yeah, right now I'm still on protect my dead people bits, but I assume that will change as soon as I get in another scene.
Yeah, really, it just changes whenever you're looking at something different.
I have one, which is to do something special for Barb to make her feel better. I don't know if it needs to be more specific than that, but I don't know what form that would take necessarily. I mean, I had the sandwich, but I feel like Claire would want to. Barb's been through. It's just through a fair bit.
Let's get a little bit more specific about that. Maybe something. Are you looking for her to process what happened? Do you want to show that you care about her?
I think
you want
it's
to
more
show that people have her back.
Sorry.
Do you want to do something that shows her that that her family has her back?
I think, yeah, like that, and sort of, the showing that Claire cares about her.
Okay, yeah. Why don't you tighten up the statement a little bit, and then I think we're good on that one. Bring more attention to what ICE is doing. Awesome. That's a great one for Barb right now.
I'm trying to figure out something. I feel like Barb would be, and maybe this isn't the right thing for a desire, but I feel like she's worried about, and I can't remember his name, Chris. And obviously not about the letting slip about eating ice, because that hasn't really happened yet, but more just about what happened the night before with the lift drive. But I don't know if that's appropriate for a desire, since desires are supposed to be something kind of for Barb and not for the family.
Right. Yeah. If it was something like, I want to solve this problem this specific way that's problematic for the rest of the family, that could be a desire. Like, I want to make sure that that Chris is not hurt, or that the family does not hurt Chris because of him because of what he knows. That would be a valid desire. Saying, or saying, the other way to do it would be like another family member saying, I want to kill Chris because he's a liability, which would obviously upset you, that would be a potential desire for another member of the family. But just saying, I want to deal with that problem for the family. No, that's something, yes. It's got, if you just kind of say, well, yeah, duh, that needs to get done for the good of the, then it's not really a desire.
No, I like the kind of keeping Chris safe. I mean, that makes sense that Barb might be worried about any further harm. Well, any harm coming to Chris after what happened the night before.
Mm-hmm. So then this is a telegraph to the other players to play the opposite end of that, of taking.
I really need to eat Chris now.
But you promised you would only eat people that deserve it. So now you have to find out why Chris deserves it.
Didn't actually extract that promise because she didn't manage to take off that thing, I don't think.
It doesn't.
Did I actually promise that?
So the thing is it doesn't go away if you accomplish it. It goes away if you abandon it.
Oh, okay. So maybe I didn't promise. Dang it.
Well, that doesn't mean that you necessarily promised. It meant that, if if Barbara does something in pursuit of that goal, that's when the green chip gets triggered. So, maybe if Barbara was putting you through a guilt trip or tried to have the conversation with you, even if you didn't agree to it, that's her. That's her basically pressing her desire.
I'm just trying to remember how it went down last time, because I feel like I agreed not to kill any more people right now, but it was largely but I've got a whole cup in the freezer. Why would I? Sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you gave a very vague sort of promise of it was vague and tons of loopholes and not really enforceable, but you did. I think you did say something suggesting that you were agreeing to it. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you believe you agreed to it. It might have been something along the lines of, yes, I'll do better with that. Does that sound appropriate?
Don't worry about Chris. There is no reason I would ever eat him. He's fine.
And let's see. Claire also wants to have a day out on the town with Aaron. Excellent. I love days out in this game. I haven't seen one yet, but I know how that happens. So we get to find out. But in any case, we are in the bookstore where Barbara just spilled was just talking to Claire and incidentally spilled the beans to Chris that that her sister eats people. What?
What do you mean?
Call the joke, buddy. Relax.
Yeah. So sorry, boss. No. I mean, I did see what I saw last night as well.
Chris, look.
And then there was the tall drink of water here, here earlier today.
Well, look, that guy was crazy, and I don't know what that was about. And I don't know what you think you saw or you think you heard, but look, this is not a good time, okay? Trust me.
Yeah, I get that, but your sister is a cannibal.
You're serious right now? Yeah, dude. Barb's sister eats people. Okay. Give me a break.
Yes, I know you're trying to do the sarcasm thing, but that only works when I am second guessing myself, which I'm not. Your sister's a fucking cannibal. I don't know how
you're not second guessing yourself. You sound like an insane person.
Yes, except I'm sure your sister has nothing to do with that, news report about the cop who went missing.
Chris, Look, haven't you ever said anything crazy in the heat of the moment when something crazy's happening?
Yes,
Well,
but usually it has something to do with the truth.
and something to do with the fact that there was some crazy cannibal out there running around. So maybe that was in the back of my head and I just got pissed and said the first thing I thought of.
Yes, but why your sister?
I don't know, man. Look, can we please just table this for now until I calm down? I promise we'll talk about it, okay?
Trust me, you don't want to dive into her relationship with her sister, okay? It's a whole thing.
I'm sure it is. Hey, you two probably need some alone time. Why don't I take the afternoon off?
That sounds good, Chris. Thanks.
Bye.
Fuck.
It's okay. It's fine.
Now
It's
what?
it's Chris. Come on. It's
Yeah, it's
fine.
Chris.
It's Chris.
That
I
guy's
think it's
he's
fine.
he's a nosy asshole.
Yeah, and
I mean,
he's
it's a
gonna.
good. I don't know. It's not good though. I mean, he's
Oh, I'm
driving.
Chris. I think Aaron eats people. Oh. Come on.
Yeah.
We're fine. We're fine. Okay? We're
Okay.
fine.
Okay. If you say so.
I do say so. How are you
Okay.
holding up?
Well, aside from the fact that I just told my employee that my sister eats people, I'm doing great. It's all in a day around here.
Want to close early?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
All right. You're the one who works here. I don't. I can't close.
Oh, I was just reading that as
Barbara will begin to close.
so Aaron, you're working in the back, and at a certain point, Reshma calls you up and says, "Hey, Aaron, one of your friends is here, I guess. Wants to say hi."
Oh, okay, cool. And I'll get up from tossing out things that are expired and definitely not dead cop bits, and go out front to see who it is.
Oh yeah, it's totally the Lyft driver from last night, Chris.
We're not friends. That's
Hey, Aaron, I was just in the neighborhood and figured out what the fuck happened to your eye.
I like scratched the cornea somehow. It's really stupid, but you
God,
got to keep it covered for a while.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah,
I've done
contacts.
I've done quite a bit of reading about medical books. Want me to take a look?
No thanks. I mean, I already saw a doctor earlier. I'm just gonna go with what they said.
Okay, no, totally fair. So I was wondering, you want to go get lunch sometime? Maybe nice salad?
So I know you work with my sister, but tracking me down at my workplace after I ride in your Lyft is kind of creepy, dude.
Yeah, well, what can I say? Last night you made an impression,
I mean, clearly I made an impression on you, but I just don't see you that way, man.
Well, I'd really appreciate it. I mean, come on, with everything that happened last night, and just the, that news report about the cop just made me realize that life is short.
I just look at Reshma like, can you believe this guy? He's such a creep, sort of look, looking for some backup.
I think Reshma's like, oh, he's kind of hot.
Reshma, I can't trust you for anything. I'm like, okay, dude,
Come on.
fine. If this is the only way you're going to go away and leave me alone, sure.
So, when's good for you?
I mean, my lunch break's in like an hour.
I've got the rest of the afternoon off. That would work for me.
Of course, you have open availability. That's not stalkerish at all. You're
Well,
great at this.
well, I can tell you why I have the afternoon off. It's a thing. I don't want to freak you out while you're at work.
Wait, did something happen at the bookstore?
Are you able to take your lunch break early?
I'm gonna glance over for like, is anyone gonna notice or care if I take my lunch break early?
Let's see. So your boss is Ron, who's oblivious. So, and Rashma is unmotivated. And she's like, "Yeah, I got you covered, girl."
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm in a different freezer doing things. I'll be back later.
So yeah, Chris takes you down the street. It's not like it's a nice little cafe, which is like not like private enough where you can have a conversation without being heard, but public enough where it's not like, hey, yes, this is like completely like creepy town. So you eat people, huh?
Okay, so we're burying the lead here. What happened to the bookstore?
Well, before I tell you that, I need to know if you're actually going to eat people over this.
Okay, I mean, I know that Barbara is kind of intense about being vegan, but meat and cannibalism aren't the same thing.
Yeah, what about the police officer?
What are you even talking about?
I dropped you off. You ran out of my car. You tackled a police officer, drag him into an alley, and then later that night there was a police report saying that he was missing, presumed dead. Oh, and your sister said you ate people.
Who is ever going to believe you about that, man? That sounds pretty crazy.
So there's a difference between trying to convince people and me just wanting to know.
Let's say I have some very particular dietary requirements. So what is up with my sister, okay?
She was assaulted by ICE.
Okay, cool. Well, it was great to see you, and I'm sure that we'll hit up sometime later, probably when you're in a lift. And yeah.
She seems to think that you're going to go out and eat a bunch of ICE agents.
What on earth would give you that idea?
Last night?
Yeah, man, that was sarcasm.
Mm-hmm. What happened to your eye again?
You actually want to know? Or is this just a curiosity question?
Yeah, I want to know.
It was coming out, so I cut it out.
Whoa, that's hardcore.
Yeah. So maybe keep this to yourself, huh?
Look, my dad works for ICE. Yeah, I know. It's shit. I hate that he does it. But if you're going on a murder spree, and that's going to involve my dad, you have to understand that that doesn't work for me.
Did your dad actually have something to do with this?
I have no idea.
Well, if not, then he's okay. I mean, yeah, you've got your dad, but I've also got my family to protect. Maybe suggest that he take a vacation.
Yeah, you think he's going to listen to me?
I
Especially
mean, I'm,
because if I say, "Oh yeah, Dad, I think someone's going to kill you because they kill and eat people, and your coworkers assaulted their sister."
I'm changing my desire like every 30 seconds in this conversation. My goodness. Yeah, I mean, if he's not out there, abusing his power for no apparent reason, then he's probably safe, right?
Look, it's this like fucking cult thing going on with those guys. They don't even recognize what they're doing.
Yeah, and this is an excuse how?
It's not an excuse. I'm just saying that it, killing them isn't going to make shit better.
I don't think I'm following your point.
These are people with families, with loved ones. Granted, yes, completely fucked up and misguided here. They bought into a bad line, and I hope to God that they wake up sometime soon.
I
But
mean, I gotta eat somehow. And I
I
mean,
mean,
you know,
do you
Barbara,
have
she's
to
got
eat?
standards.
I mean, do you have to eat people? Like, look, I'm not judging you on the whole cannibalism thing. I mean, is maybe I should, but I have to eat it.
Yeah, I kind of do. I mean, it's sort of like deciding that your diet's going to be Tide Pods from now on. I mean, you can do it, but is it actually going to work for you? No.
Is that what happened to you? Is this what happens when you do the Tide Pod challenge?
Never follow a YouTube dare. No, come on. Don't be ridiculous, dude.
Well, you're saying that your diet is exclusively people.
Yes.
So, sorry, you kind of threw the needle of what's ridiculous out the window here.
I mean, okay, yeah, that's fair. But this conversation is going on for quite a while, and I'm still not sure how Barb is. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
like, do you want
I
to
get.
drive while we talk or something?
Honestly, being alone in a car with you, no
I
offense.
promise I won't eat you while you're driving a car, okay? I mean, that doesn't work out well for either of us. Besides, you work for Barb, she'd be upset. Fine, you can like have a free pass or something.
Is this like get out of cannibalism free card? Is that a thing?
Yes.
I look just uh, just don't go on a rampage, please. I don't know.
I mean, think
Fuck.
about it. Would you rather have me on your side or not?
I mean, is I'd rather not have people die.
I mean, yeah, awesome, but that's not an option anymore.
I mean, why not? Like, what the hell is going on here? You're
I thought
just
we
like,
already went over that. I mean, we're just talking in circles here.
well, you say that you need to eat people, but you never really said why.
I mean, fine. I mean, I guess like there's no point in me not telling you everything. What are you gonna do with it? Go out and tell everyone that I'm one of the Walking Dead? Yeah, I died. I'm back. I eat people now. That's how it is.
Okay. Check, please.
Finally.
And I think that's scene. So Barb and Claire, you've closed up the shop. What are you doing with the rest of your day?
What does Barb want?
Well, I know Barb wants to do something about her newfound Facebook fame. And it might keep her mind off Chris thinking that Aaron is a cannibal.
I think if that was something Claire could help you with, they would. Otherwise, they'd probably want to go see Aaron.
We can find a way for Claire to help out. I mean, she is a online blogger. She might have some, I don't know, clickbait advice.
And about food, but I guess, yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess what I'm thinking is, if Barb, has a request or needs something, Claire is there. So, whatever that is.
Well, I mean, if you think we can go have them check on Aaron, if you'd rather play that out.
Let's go check on Aaron.
Okay, so you're walking towards the grocery store?
Sounds right to me.
So I'm pulling a chip out of the bag. So yeah, you're walking towards the grocery store, and yeah, as you walk by, you see this black van pull, basically going down the street in front of you, pull off to the side of the road by a garbage can, and the guy leans out of the car, opens up the garbage can, throws in a plastic bag that looks kind of heavy. Oh, hey, Barb, you recognize him. That's that R. Reynolds guy. And he just drives off.
I think Barb's going to take out her phone as fast as she can and see if she can snap a picture of the license plate or something identifying about the van.
That guy really looked like Ryan Reynolds, huh?
His card did say R. Reynolds, but I'm not so sure.
Ryan Reynolds?
Look, and Barb's going to go over to the garbage can and pull up the lid and see what R. Reynolds dumped.
Oh, fuck, that's a severed head.
Fuck. Step back, drop the trash can lid.
When the head rolls out and on the floor, Claire, you recognize that head. That's the waiter's head.
Oh, Jesus. Somebody's killing undead. Ryan Reynolds is killing undead. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
What do you mean killing undead?
The waiter. The waiter was the guy that at the restaurant at the pop-up.
This is the guy that ate the mayor?
He bit the police chief.
We gotta call the cops.
We gotta go see Aaron.
And this? The severed head in the ground?
I don't know. We should, yeah. It would.
We can't just leave it here.
No, you're right.
I mean, the last time we kind of tried to be nonchalant about dead stuff, it didn't go over so well.
Fucking Chris. Yeah, okay. Why don't you call the cops and I'll go check on Aaron. I already had to talk to the cops a couple times about that whole incident. I'd rather not make that a third time.
Barb has a flash of a thought to say something snarky about being abandoned again, but she bites her tongue and says, "Okay, I'll call. Go check on Aaron."
All right.
And Barb,
Call me. One of us call the other when we're done. Whoever's first. Okay.
will do.
See you later.
Well, since it sounds like your interaction's happening right now, 911 emergencies.
So I just found somebody's dead.
Okay, have you checked their pulse?
It's just a head. I mean,
Oh, okay. Where are you located right now?
I'm at the corner of 4th and Main, kind of an alley off there. It's just a block away from Better Off Red, that bookstore.
Okay, don't move, don't touch anything.
Okay.
Yeah, in about 5 minutes, a squad car shows up, and they quickly cordon off the area. So, after a little bit, an officer is taking your statement. So, what exactly happened here?
I was leaving work, and I was, going to see some friends, my sister, and this black van just sped up, opened up the side, dumped this in the garbage can, and drove off. I mean, I took a picture. I don't know if it's helpful.
Yeah, the picture kind of got the first 2 letters of the license plate and kind of was pretty blurry, so pretty unreadable for the rest of it. Just because it's fun, the first 2 letters of the license plate is RR.
So Barb shows that to the cop. Sorry, it's the best I got.
No, it's better than nothing. How about a description of the person?
All right, look, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but he kind of looked like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds put a severed head?
I'm not saying the actor Ryan Reynolds put a severed head in a trash can, but it kind of looked like him. If you want a description.
Okay. So I can write that down, but
look, it's the most succinct I can be. So
yeah, they actually make you go through the description of him, because the police can't just say look like this actor as a description.
Well, blonde hair, a little bit of stubble, kind of dreamy looking, kind of Canadian. Ryan Reynolds.
And by the way, how did you get that black eye?
Oh, so you guys don't talk, huh? Law enforcement, you guys don't, communicate one agency to the next?
I mean, I don't know what you're referring to. I mean, I don't even talk to everyone from my department every day, but are you saying someone from law enforcement? assaulted you?
Yeah. An ICE agent.
Oh.
They were rounding up people downtown. Didn't
Puts
like
that,
the fact that I watched
it's
what
a
was going
clean
on.
sheet of paper. What exactly happened there?
I told you. They were rounding people up. I watched. They told me not to. I didn't stop. So they roughed me up.
Do you have any identifiers of the officers, any evidence, any pictures?
I was too busy getting shoved into the ground and zip tied to identify any officers. But if you want to check my Facebook live feed, you can watch them in action.
I absolutely would.
All right. And so I'll pull up my phone and show him the live feed.
Is it okay if I download this video and email it to someone in my to myself?
It's open to the public. Do what you want.
Yeah, he copies the link, sends it to himself. I'll be right back. Yeah, can you get me to Chief Rodriguez? Yeah, I got a doubleheader, and she's definitely going to want to hear about this one. And he kind of goes off talking. Claire, where do you meet up with Aaron?
I probably go to the deli and see if she's there, and if she's not, then I call her.
Yeah, so when you go up to the deli counter, there's this bored-looking woman just going,
Hey guys, Aaron here?
Oh, you're her roommate. No, she's off getting some with a hottie. Mm, 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 mm.
Uh-huh. Okay. And then I'm gonna call Aaron. Beep, bop, bop, boop.
Beep beep boop on my end. I'll pick up the phone.
Is that your
You have the
ringtone?
worst ringtone.
It's probably one of those generic ones that's supposed to sound like something, but it really just sounds like a phone kind of bleeping at you. No. Hello?
Hey, it's Claire. How's it going?
Hey, Chris really wanted to talk to me because apparently some stuff went down at the bookstore.
Christ. Where are you? Can we meet up?
Give her the location of this cafe thing and say I'm trying to get Chris to like give me a ride back because that's his literal job. But no, for some reason he doesn't really want to drive me anywhere.
Well, would you be paying him?
I mean,
is he on the clock?
I could.
Yeah, but if he's not on the clock, then...
I mean, I'm treating this as Chris has already left the restaurant.
Yeah, and okay, there he goes. He's gone. So I guess I'll walk.
All right, I'll meet you at X place.
Yeah, it's not
that
far.
is between us.
Yeah, somewhere vaguely equidistant.
Yeah.
I mean, the cafe was like a block and a half away.
Yeah.
And I am already walking in your direction. I will
Here
probably
we
see you
are.
before we hang up.
At Chateau Equidistant, and
that place is so pretentious.
Yeah, so did he tell you what all went down at the bookstore?
He said that some ICE agents roughed up Barb, and also that she told him I eat people. So yeah, Chris knows that now.
Yeah, tried to cover, but Barb's
he's
really
persistent.
bad at lying.
I know, she's so bad.
Not that I did a much better job, to be honest.
It couldn't have been much worse. I mean, I've seen Barb in action.
He seems really determined to believe this whole thing. What did he say to you? Like,
He begged me not to eat his dad and said that
Okay,
he doesn't
that's,
want to drive me anywhere. Which, I mean, fair.
I'd like you not to eat my dad either, but just didn't think that was really on the table.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's like a 0% chance that your dad has ever roughed up Barb, so.
Oh, did his dad?
He doesn't know if his dad was there or not, but apparently he works for ICE, so he's against me eating ICE in general because I don't know what his dad looks like.
Oh. Were you going to eat a bunch of ICE agents?
I mean, it's not off the table.
I mean, can we avoid, like, I feel, can we avoid maybe a whole spree? Like, you know, a single body can last you a couple days, right, at least?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
So if we're killing people, if we're eating people who deserve it, that's fine, but you know, maybe not for,
yeah, it's not like I'm proposing that I go eat an entire segment of law enforcement just because I feel like it. But like, there were at least a couple people who were unnecessarily rough to Barb, and I need to eat somehow. And you know, it kind of doubles up.
Look, I'm fine. I'm fine with you eating an ICE agent every once in a while. You know, I'm just saying you shouldn't be going on a revenge quest against these specific agents. I mean, ICE agents rough up. You know, Barb's hardly the first person they've assaulted, right? So
yeah, which isn't a reason not to eat them.
But what I mean is, you should probably avoid eating more than we need to. More than you need to is all. To avoid, like, the whole getting caught thing. Pay a lot more attention. It's already a riskier move, and I'm fine with trying it, but you know, if we can limit it to, like, you know, 1 week, they're probably pretty beefy.
Yeah, that's probably fair, and we don't really have any places to store them anyway, so I'd have to leave the bodies out.
Yeah, well, I ordered a new freezer, so
good.
That'll arrive in a few days.
Yeah, we had a health inspection at work today, and I don't think they found anything, but it was a closer call than I'd like, so I can't keep storing people there.
Yeah. So how are we dealing with Chris?
Well, I mean, there's the obvious solution.
Okay, but
Barbara's going to be really pissed if I eat him.
I wouldn't.
I mean, I don't.
If we were to find something out about him that meant he deserved to be eaten, I wouldn't be opposed to looking into that. But yeah, I would not consider it super likely that he meets those criteria.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I told him as much, that he can go tell everyone he wants that, you know, I eat people and like that kind of stuff, because he was going to believe that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, no, fair.
I mean, and
I guess it'd be more suspicious if then he disappeared, you know?
Yeah, I mean, and really, if he goes and tells people that he's worried that I'm going to eat his dad, then that sounds kind of crazy.
Oh, what can I say, Aaron? You're a homewrecker.
Yep. That's
yeah.
Oh no.
What?
You know what, you've been so busy, Aaron. Do you know what you haven't had a chance to do today?
Oh, god damn it.
You haven't had a chance to eat anything. And you know, all of those great snacks that you had stored up are all buried kind of, you know, in these inconvenient places that you have to tear through boxes to get to.
Fuck, Chris distracted me and I totally forgot about lunch.
any nearby ice agents? Where do ice agents around here even be?
I mean, I
Where
don't think we
where are
generally
they?
move in the same social circles, so I don't really know.
Yeah, so the thing about Hunger with Undeath is it comes on very fast and very strong.
All right, let's get back to the see if we can dig you up some frozen cop parts, huh?
Yeah, I think if I can just get to the freezer, then I can
Yeah,
some
it's
stuff.
fine.
I mean,
It's fine.
the health inspection has to have wrapped up by now, right?
Probably.
Yeah, okay. And I'm already like power walking as I'm saying this.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that there is no way for you to get to your hidden meat supply without drawing attention to yourself. So your choices is to kill and eat someone else, or make it very apparent that you were hiding, or go back to work and tear through these boxes.
Can I create a distraction?
Well, I will say that so far this session, the only things that have gone into this bag are 3 black chips, and I've drawn 2 black chips. So if you're doing anything risky, you know what's going to get drawn.
You want to go for it?
I'm trying to get you guys, trying to start the cycle of you guys putting chips back into the bag.
Yeah.
Well, I was looping into, and then I had to fire
things happen to us.
But then something got pulled. Because I fully expect that I'm gonna do some rash people chomping later on and add a bunch of chips, but apparently I'm doing it now.
Yes. Yeah. I'll give you a golden opportunity though. You do see one of those black unlabeled trucks with over in the loading parking lot, and like the two people in the truck are sitting there eating sandwiches. You can't quite see what they're wearing, but it looks like it's probably bulky and black.
And I, the player, I'm thinking, okay, logically, this is a bad idea. But I, the character, I'm not really capable of higher thought at this moment. So
probably, yeah, that's right.
I'm just going to tromp on over.
This isn't about just doing good ideas.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wait, oh boy.
Yeah, I'm going to walk over and knock on the window.
I can't watch.
Yeah, we're kind of on our break. I mean, is like if we don't have our good 90 minutes, how are we supposed to get this load of people back where they're supposed to be?
And you can see Erin try to reach for a witty response, but she's just not capable of words right now. And sort of like, yep, okay, that's a problem. I'm going to grab one of them and just haul him out of the thing.
Yeah, so he's like much higher up. So you haul him and he's like half out the window.
Yeah, I'm thinking like pull him through the window out the ground sort of thing, where it's just awkward.
Okay, yeah. Describe what this is looking like.
Yeah, so it looks like someone who's really just kind of very generic height, not really tall or short or well built or anything. Just kind of reaches up into a higher truck, grabs a guy by the throat, and tries to haul him out the window.
Let me keep like you're. I think we know what's getting triggered here.
Okay.
I'm asking for like what the scene looks like.
Okay. I suppose I'm not understanding what more details you want then.
Like, does the camera just cut away and we hear growls and screams?
Yeah, I think we see that quick burst of movement, and then the camera cuts to probably Claire with that oops face, and then
with
maybe
two bodies?
something else. Huh?
With 2 bodies?
Sure. Let's say I kill everybody. Why not?
Well, do you kill everybody?
I mean, I think I intend to just kill one, and then I go, but we've got witnesses, and now that I can think a little bit clearer, I know that's a bad thing, so I'm going to grab the other guy as well.
Yeah, he tries to like tase you, and it doesn't go well.
Yeah, it doesn't do a thing to me because, I mean, when the human condition would normally hold me back, it doesn't.
So yeah, you have 2 dead ICE agents, a bloody parking lot, and a truck full of probably immigrants.
Okay, I feel a lot better now, but also that was regrettable.
You gotta keep a better handle on your hunger schedule, dude.
I mean, it's not like I can just schedule out meals. It comes on really sudden. I mean, it's like diarrhea or something almost. You can't plan for it.
You gotta. This is not sustainable.
I know it's not, but I mean, short of carrying around like a little Tupperware full of people parts, how am I supposed to plan better?
That doesn't sound like a terrible idea.
True, maybe I can be like, I'm diabetic. I need to be able to take a snack any time of day.
Yeah,
I'm just following my lunch.
make them. Once it's all cubed up and stuff, like people aren't gonna know that it's human meat.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here.
Okay, and as I'm saying this, I'm still like, bloody and everything.
So you're just leaving everything here?
Yeah, I don't think we really have time to clean this up. Maybe we should like open the back of the van or something as we go. Because otherwise it's gonna be really hot in there. That's not very safe.
Yeah. Maybe from now on you could at least wear
Turn
a
on the
mask.
AC at least. Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good move. Like a balaclava or something.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Gonna how far are we from our apartment?
What, like 6-7 blocks?
And you're just covered in blood, right?
I think that I would normally try to be neat, but you can't really neatly eat a person, and I was not in possession of my faculties. So yeah, blood everywhere, gore, ew.
All right.
I mean, like, there was throat ripping action and stuff.
I'll give her my coat to try to look a little less covered in blood. And let's get back to the apartment, maybe.
But yeah, that's probably a good move. I should probably like wash or take a shower or something.
We gotta find a sustainable solution for this.
I mean, sorry.
No, it's fine. You're fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Everything is not fine, but we'll figure it out.
So I'm going to say that everyone gets back to the apartment at around the same time. And yeah, everyone's back in the apartment at the same time.
Hey, Barb, how'd it go with the police?
It was fine. How did it go with you?
Not
Aaron?
great.
You look a little covered in blood. Did you eat more people? We agreed you would eat more people. You had boxes of people
I know,
at work.
but we had a health inspection and I had to stash all the parts and I couldn't get back to them in time and I had a sudden, need for stuff. And I mean, it happened. But there weren't any witnesses. I got both of them.
I guess that's a good thing.
And I didn't eat Chris, even though he was right there. Again, because he's like creeping on me over this zombie thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was kind of worked up and I didn't know he was there. And I was like, hey, why don't we have Aaron eat all the ice agents? And then he's there. And
so kind of good news. I just ate a couple of them because they were right there.
Well, I don't know how serious I was about that, but
I mean, that's better than it could have been, right? Because you were thinking it would be nice if Aaron ate some people, and then I ate some people, instead of you going, I really hope Aaron doesn't eat those people, and then I ate those people.
I mean, if you have to eat somebody, I guess. Good job. Well, 2 less ice agents on the streets. I guess we celebrate. But maybe keep a low profile so that our Reynolds guy doesn't chop your head off.
Wait, who?
Yeah. So the reason I'm kind of late getting back here is because we saw this guy who kind of looks like Ryan Reynolds dumping the head of another person who's, well, was like you.
The waiter from the restaurant. Also, I feel like you're understating how much he looked like Ryan Reynolds.
Okay, so Ryan Reynolds is dumping people's heads, and I'm the one on the news?
Well, I know!
I don't think it's really Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I mean, but really, and he...
Although, look, check out this picture. The first 2 letters of his license plate are RR. I mean,
even if it's just like a celebrity impersonator who's chopping off people's heads and pretending to be Ryan Reynolds, that should be headline stuff.
You would think, but no.
The cops know, so we'll see.
So, do you think that they'll think that maybe Ryan Reynolds is also eating people in the front of vans? Because that would tidy up a lot of that for me.
That would help. Well,
hey, Claire, you are getting a text message from Veronica.
Oh, Christ. Okay. And it says,
turn on the local news. Call me after you're up to speed.
Great. I'll look on the local news on my phone because who hasn't
this is another story
on the news channel anymore? I'll see what's trending on Twitter. Yeah.
Chief Rodriguez declares war on ICE. Is the headline.
Hey guys, check this out.
Oh yeah, she's giving an entire speech with her ears still bandaged. And yeah, she basically is toting out the video of Barbara getting attacked, saying that ICE has betrayed their basically their covenant with law and order, and are now assaulting citizens, and lying about laws, and that she will not tolerate this behavior in the city, and basically has declared that ICE operations are not welcome here.
Well, score 1 for us, right?
Does cut off a good food source, though.
No.
Well, here's the thing.
This is good. This is good. This is good.
I mean, some people might take a war on ICE more literally than others. Some people might kill 2 ICE agents in the back of a parking lot.
But I mean, that wasn't because I was trying to destroy ICE. That's because I was really hungry. I mean, that's relatable, right?
Yeah, but it's not like them being ICE was irrelevant.
Yeah.
So, just to be sure, since we've already been caught on camera once, there aren't cameras out back the grocery store, are there, Aaron?
I mean, there's like a camera at the loading dock so you can see who's pulling up, but they weren't like backed up against the loading dock. I don't think they would have been able to see me, or at least not my face. I think. I mean, I haven't really checked them for cold spots or anything.
Is there a way we could check them? Like, after hours? Get back in there again? Make sure that you're not on there?
I mean, maybe. And we already know that the security is not that tight because we've been in after hours before.
Okay. Just want to cover all our bases here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's not as bad as it could have been, but still.
Claire, do you call Veronica back? You're muted.
I will text her back. Yeah, and say, wow, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I think it's
the my roommate getting assaulted thing, but
that was your roommate. Oh, even better. See, you're good with the chief of police, right? I understand that you got pretty buddy with her.
I met with her. We talked.
I'm thinking that this is not normally your bag. I get that, but this is a golden opportunity, hon. You've got an in with the first victim of this. You've got an in with the chief of police.
I read about food, Veronica.
You can see Aaron giving you a face that's like, well, kind of technically.
You're right about food right now, but hon, I would not be a responsible boss if I did not encourage you, more than encourage you, to strike while the iron's hot. Like right. This is New York Times hot. This is cover of Time magazine hot.
All right, I'll think about it. Thanks.
Don't think too long. You need to get on this shit soon.
I think fast. Don't worry.
By the way, since we're doing a shorter campaign, that was your foreshadow.
Yeah. Remind me what the deal with those are again.
It means that there's a coming final crisis. Because green is our most populous chip right now. I'm just saying that's triggered. So there's going to be a tough temptation that might be coming along soon, where the family needs to make a decision when it comes to
that. I mean, having an influence on the narrative is certainly not a bad thing for somebody in our situation, you know? Yeah, I think I gotta go. I think I gotta give Chief Rodriguez a call and see if I can't take her up on that lunch offer.
By the way, even though you didn't do anything specifically to that, Barbara, I think you did bring more attention to ice.
Cool. So do I remove
Nope, doesn't
that?
erase.
Okay, cool.
It only erases if you give up on that desire. So you still desire to bring more attention to ice and against ice. That desire has not gone away. It's if you had an opportunity to bring more attention to it and you didn't for the sake of the family, that's when it would, that's you giving up your desire. You're saying, my desire is not as important as the family.
Gotcha. Cool.
So, what are you guys doing right now?
I think I got to give Chief Rodriguez a call and see if I can't schedule that lunch with her. It's not today, obviously, but
you call the number on her card and it goes to her assistant.
Hey, I talked to your boss. This is Claire. Claire, last name that I did not decide ever on. I'll figure something out. But whatever it is, I said that. Your boss, Chief Rodriguez, had an offer for standing offer for lunch with me, and I wanted to see if I could take her up on that and maybe get her. Talk to her about this whole War on Ice thing.
I have a sticky note saying to book you, but honestly, her schedule is booked for the next 3 weeks, and honestly, I haven't seen her take a lunch break all week. But
dinner, breakfast, brunch, midnight snack.
Look, tell you what I'll do. She has not gone to the doctor's appointments since the incident. If you can get her to go to a doctor's appointment as part of this, I can force you in tomorrow. It's going to piss off some people, but you've got to get her to go to that doctor's appointment. I do not look like how that ear's been looking. She has not done anything about it. And, I'm worried about that she's got rabies or something. I don't know. Just, can you get her to the doctors?
I'll do my best. It's a deal.
Look, if she wouldn't kick your ass for doing it, I would tell you to drag her ass if you were able to.
Yeah, no,
even if her wife can't get her to go.
Look, I'll do my best to convince her, but I'm not going to do anything that's going to, get me arrested.
Okay.
But I will do everything in my power to get her to go to the damn doctor.
11:30 at the plaza, and then
good.
doctor's appointment at 1 at County General.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So, Barbara and Aaron.
First goal is to clean myself up a bit, but afterward, probably stuff. Actually, no, I was muted for part of that sentence because dang buttons. My actual real first goal is, while I'm still a bloody mess, say, so Barb, are you okay? Because Chris was like refusing to tell me what was going on, but it sounded like stuff happened.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I mean, it's all on the video. Ice Agents. I was videoing and they didn't like that, so they kind of tackled me and zip tied me, but I'm fine. I'm fine, really.
Kinda tackled, kinda zip tied.
Yeah, well, actually tackled, actually zip tied. But no, I'm fine. I mean, Claire showed up and she kind of stood up for me, and they let me go. And aside from the black eye and bruised wrists, I'm okay.
Okay.
I've still got both my eyes, right?
Yeah, you still got me beat there. You're
Yeah.
the one of us with
Speaking
most
of
eyes.
which, how did cutting out the eye end up going?
It went awesome, and there would never be a side effect of that. I don't know why you're asking.
It sounds like things turned out all right despite Barbara's warning. So the bet was one chip. So red chip in the bag.
Oh, phew, I was worried that meant that no, my other eye was going to fall out or something. Yeah, I mean, if people are giving you a hard time in the future, I mean, you've got my number.
Yeah, well, I mean, I literally couldn't do anything about it at the time, but
I mean, like, not immediately, but
no,
I can back you up.
I know, Aaron. I appreciate it. How are you doing? I mean, you did just eat 2 more people.
Well, I didn't really eat the second one. I mean, the first was plenty. I just didn't want to leave a witness because, things spiral. But,
As you do.
yeah. It's just, it's a lot at once. I guess I could use a break. But you don't really get one when you've occasionally got to eat a person. So, I'm making do.
Okay, well, ditto for the whole being there if you need me thing.
Anyways, are you trying to get Erin to recognize that she's gone too far?
No, I don't think so. No, I think Barbara's, again, it might not have been the right thing, but it wasn't the worst thing either. So I don't think she's trying to make her feel like she did anything wrong.
I'm weirdly touched by this. Especially because the worst thing would be like, I guess I could eat Claire or something. So once again, I've cleared the lowest bar. So yeah, I'm gonna give her like kind of reassuring, not hug, but like shoulder squeeze or something because I'm still kind of messy, and then go to wipe all this blood off.
Yeah, we should probably get you cleaned up.
So yeah, I think it's. Was there anything else people were looking to do today, or should we move on to the next day?
Being able to fulfill that. I mean, it wouldn't be a full day out on the town with Aaron, but being able to have like an afternoon / evening out on the town with Aaron now that she's fed, and we can maybe just chill a little.
Yeah, if you wanted to spend the evening
and I
going
guess
out.
Barb can come too. And Jack and Barbie, of course, you can come if you want.
That sounds like you might be doing a move.
Yeah. Choose a length of time that's no more than a year. When a family member chooses to just spend quality time with you, the zombie will help resolve any active scenes, and then that period of time will progress without incident. The players will each describe one bit of image passage of time. So, y'all, we could just pass a year.
We take a year off, and everything's awesome.
Just take a year off, and everything's fine.
Yeah, you could totally just take a year off.
I mean, I don't think that makes any sense fictionally. Things are going way too fast for that, but I don't know. Like, actually, things quieting down for a week or so might not be out of the question. Like, how
You
does
get to
everybody feel about
decide.
that? Yeah, I want to, survey the group first.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah, sounds like a week-long montage is coming up.
Let's just have a chill week, you guys.
Okay.
It's just, yeah.
So, so each player will describe one piece of the montage to describe to kind of give us an idea of how the time passes. I guess we also need to talk about the quality time. So, Claire? What do you do with the family to spend quality time with them?
I think it's just sort of going downtown and walking around and interacting and having fun and just sort of like, oh, that looks interesting, and going to check that out. Some point, eating somewhere, going somewhere halfway decent to eat, because that's really the best way Claire knows of how to bond. Although I wouldn't like, that's not the montage image.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think to make this work all together, probably what's happened was it's like, oh yeah, we used to do this all the time. It was fun. So you guys just like keep doing it every night for like a week.
Yeah. Works for me. Just hitting the town, exploring the city. Every night is, something else that looks interesting we can check out. So if it's a big city, there's it's certainly not out of the question.
Okay. Barbara, one scene showing how the time passes for the family.
I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but when the going out to eat was being described, for some reason I mean I know why. I imagined them going somewhere like an Italian restaurant and Claire and Barb having Italian at the table while Erin's like in the alley having an Italian meal of her own. Yeah. I don't know if that's appropriate, but that's what I imagined when we were describing this going out and spending quality time together.
No, I think that's good.
Okay. So yeah, it's Lady and the Tramp style, out in the alleyway with Erin just munching down on some Italian waiter's neck at this super fancy posh Italian restaurant, while Erin and Barb eat their super posh Italian dish inside. Maybe Claire tells Barb all about how wonderful it is.
I would like to know if like Claire and Barb know that like Erin is just eating some random waiter.
I'm gonna guess not. That might ruin the week off, relaxing and having a good time for Barb anyway.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like Claire would super dig that either.
Erin, what's one scene describing how the time passes?
Well, it's not really relaxing and everything, but I think definitely see Erin like helping install a new freezer and trying to clean up the floor and everything, because she's doing her part, and also she's got to have a place to stock things. And once the freezer's in there, you see her like adding in some bits, and then adding in some more bits, and then like rearranging the bits so she can add in some more bits, because she's trying to stock this thing thoroughly so she won't have to murder people randomly.
And Claire, what's one scene describing how the time passes?
Well, I definitely don't want to just completely skip over the lunch with the chief.
I'll explain away what happened with the lunch.
Oh, don't no, but I just wanted to have that be my image, like, of Claire and the chief sort of half talking, half interviewing.
I was thinking what was going to happen was the chief just kept rescheduling until the next week.
That also works.
So this is more about spending time with the family montage.
Okay. Then I like the idea of like Aaron is sorting things in the freezer. Claire is dicing some human meat, putting it to make it into a more like innocuous looking form. And Barb is, probably complaining about something. And just that image, and they're all in the kitchen just chilling and preparing bodies.
Family dinner. Yay.
And then we open up the next week with Claire sitting outside outside of a nice bistro, and the police chief kind of rushing over and saying, "Sorry for rescheduling all those times. Just that vigilante overreaction to my announcement was just I'm still having President Trump tweeting about me."
Oh, he tweets about everybody, doesn't he?
So, I'm glad we finally got a chance to chat. Are you doing okay?
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing fine. How are you doing? How's the whole face ear situation?
It is what it is, but you know what? Fuck it all. You know what? We gotta, now is all about doing what's right.
Yeah,
ISIS
and also
trying to take over this country. Fuck them. It's not his city; it's our city.
I agreed. Can I quote that? Not the obscenity part.
Go right fucking ahead. You notice Chief Rodriguez is swearing a lot more this time right now.
Yeah, I might use editorial, whatever the word is, take some editorial liberties with that, and not and preemptively censor her for whatever it is I'm writing. So yeah, you've gone to see somebody about the whole ear thing?
Too fucking busy.
Dude. Chief, come on.
What? You think this city doesn't save itself? I'll have you know, in the last week, we have reduced ICE incidents down from 15 raids a week down to 2.
I think
pretty soon we'll get it down to 0.
You employ a lot of reliable people, and that the city is not going to save itself if the chief, but the city is not going to save itself if the chief's ear gets infected.
I feel fine. You're worse than my assistant.
And somebody's got to be, right? Look, come on.
The waiter comes over. What would you like to eat, madame?
I will have your, how's the, what fishes do you have? I don't actually eat fish in real life out of character, so I don't know how to order a fish dish. But
We have our special this week is a fantastic swordfish.
sounds good to me.
Excellent. And for you, Chief, she's like, oh, I had a big breakfast. Don't.
Chief, you sure?
I couldn't eat another bite.
Okay. So yeah, I want to write an article about this whole ice thing. And
Good
just
for you. Expanding your career, following your passions.
Yeah,
Best thing you can do.
Yeah, I'm trying to write on current events in the city. Yeah, I mean, how are you feeling? So you're the
By the way, this got pulled out of the bag. I'm feeling great. Although I did notice something odd the other day.
What's up?
So, we've got a case from a week ago. Random decapitation found. Happens to be that asshole who bit me. But I mean, is the person who found the head has the same address as you do?
Yeah, no, that's my roommate, Barb.
Oh, so you were there too?
I was around. We were. There's literally this guy just drives up and dumps it, and it looked weird. And Barb's Barb's kind of nosy. Like, I'm not gonna excuse that, but then it was a head, and but hey, are you interviewing me now?
So why didn't you stick around? I mean, as you were a witness as well.
I needed to check on my other roommate. She was having a rough day.
I mean, murder is. I mean, I understand that, but you didn't think that murder took precedence there?
It's family, man. And I mean, I'm sorry. I figured Barb could handle it. Mm-hmm. It was just, and she did.
You didn't happen to get a better look at the license plate than your roommate, did you?
No. It was, I think the van said like Reynolds or something. Like literally, I know how it sounds.
And the description was, the guy looked like Ryan Reynolds.
I know how it sounds, but he really did look like a lot like Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, how close to the guy were you?
I mean, it was a dozen or 2 dozen yards, probably. Like, so, I wasn't up close. I couldn't, and I couldn't exactly do a face Google, but like, I have an image of Ryan Reynolds in my head, and like seeing him at least from that distance, like, yeah, the guy looked a lot like Ryan Reynolds, is an apt description. And I tend to think most like of that sort of Hollywood look, those Hollywood looking types tend to look pretty similar. So
I'd really like to find this guy.
I mean, have you talked to Ryan Reynolds?
You realize how silly that sounds.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm messing with you. Come on.
That's good. That's good. Sorry, we got off topic. So this motherfucking ice situation.
Yeah, motherfucking ice, right?
Yeah. So yeah, some crazy idiot decides to just go into a parking lot and ice two ice agents. leaves leaves the people they rounded up in the back seat. They only heard like a barely anything. Craziest fucking thing. And of course, now the FBI is trying to take over jurisdiction and also DOJ is trying to use an excuse to let ICE have free reign. It's just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, you can't let that distract from the call. Yeah, they'll take it as an excuse to martyr these people. I'm not saying they should have died. But
I mean,
this unfortunate distraction.
I'm not losing any fucking sleep over it.
But
hey, you'll get a kick out of this. So we got word that tomorrow ICE is trying to force their way into a church. Get the people who's was seeking sanctuary there. And so what we're doing is we're rounding up a bunch of our SWAT agents, loading them full of gear, shotguns with beanbags, the whole deal. And when ICE comes outside, get the whole bunch.
Nice. Wow. That's impressive. No, I mean, I was going to say, let me know how that goes, but I'm sure I'll hear about it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well,
hey, I gotta go.
I'm sure you're very
enjoy
busy.
your lunch.
But thanks for the statement. Yeah. Thanks for the statement. I'll send you a link to the article when it's up.
Yeah, and she walks off, and as she walks off, you notice a clump of her hair just falls right off of her head with a chunk of scalp at the end.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling. All right, I'm gonna head out.
So Barbara, you have been invited to be one of the speakers at one of a big rally protests in front of an ICE detention center. So you've had a chance to prepare a speech. This is you getting right up on stage.
So Barbara takes the stage. She's probably got super prepared notes that I don't have. But she gets up there and so she starts out, so thanks for inviting me to this rally. I'm really humbled to be here. It's what I suffered that day is nothing compared to what all of the good people who suffer at the hands of ICE suffer every day. And I'm just glad to see that our city is taking action to make right the wrongs that ICE has committed. And it continues like that for a while.
Yeah. As you're going, you see some military trucks pulling up behind the protesters.
And look who's here. Surprise, surprise. And she points to the trucks so that the crowd can see or turn around to see.
Yeah, so soldiers are coming out trying to break up the crowd. Do you keep how do you respond? You have the microphone.
Yeah.
This is a legal protest as far as you're concerned.
Well, I'm certainly going to pull out the phone, as I'm sure dozens of others are as well. And I've got the mic, and I'm gonna just shout into the mic, go limp, don't resist, let them make the first move, don't do anything, things like that. Trying to
It
get
sounds
the
like
crowd to be
you're
peaceful.
activating the key of justice. You're calling for non-violent protest.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you keep this up throughout the entire time, you're going to get detained as well, which is a terrible consequence. Are you willing to let that happen?
I think Barb would do that. Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, you're in this crowd. There is soldiers starting to manhandle protesters. You see from their logos that they're actually National Guard. How do you respond to this?
I can't really make a scene right here, and I know Barb is trying to keep this peaceful and not a murder spree, so I'm gonna try to play along as well as I can.
Sure, you can. Sure, you can act up here. What's going to stop you? I mean, what's a soldier going to do to you?
Well, it's not what a soldier's gonna do to me, but that I know I'm gonna see Barb disappointed afterward, and this is really important to her, and I want it to go off well.
I don't know. What's your desire right now?
To connect still.
Let's see how what's going on here.
My main goal at this point is supporting Barb, and damn it, more black chips. Ah.
So yeah.
So what is going on here?
You're thinking of no, you have to keep under control. You have to keep under control. And this grungy guy with dreadlocks and like kind of shaggy beard, is basically shouting at a National Guardsman, being like, "You fascists, go home! You don't belong here!" And the guy like grabs him, and he just like goes and takes a chunk out of the guy's nose, and like snaps his neck, and then just goes to the next National Guardsman.
Okay, so if I don't make a scene, someone's going to. I'm going to. Let me pick an appropriate desire here. I'm going to try to grab that guy and neutralize / murder him, because what can he do to me?
So you're trying to take out the other guy.
Yeah, the other apparently cannibalistic undead.
I think this sounds risky in that you get to kill people, but killing another zombie is risky. So you can kill the other zombie, but if you do so, a black chip's going to go off. If you fail to kill the zombie, then there's the consequences for failing. You're going to try to kill the zombie and fail, which means probably something bad. Maybe something bad happens then.
Yeah, so something bad's going to happen either way.
It's just which bad is going to be the more preferable thing right now. By the way, I'm totally putting a green or this is totally acting impulsively. A green and a red chip go into the bag.
Yay, I added some chips. I think I'm gonna fail, because if I succeed and then the black chip goes off, I think I'm gonna destroy this. And if I fail, maybe he's gonna destroy it, and that's an important nuance to Aaron right now.
So you start to lunge forward, and one of the National Guardsmen, takes that as a threat, takes the butt of his rifle and caves in your nose.
I need my nose.
It's pretty gruesome. And this black sludge comes out of your nose.
I chose poorly.
Maybe. You don't know what I was going to choose if what I was going to do with that black chip.
Okay, so I'm distracted from trying to stop the other zombie because I'm trying to conceal the fact that my nose is leaking black sludge.
Yeah, the other zombie is just like wave of going through these soldiers and is getting away. Do you let yourself get arrested then?
Yeah, I think I do.
Okay. So let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. Maybe I should have done that uh, before we started after the time skip, but I think this was a good setup to be like, yes, new action is going on now. So let's be back at 7 after. Cool. Okay, so I I think the game has gotten into a little bit of a tough territory for me, and I'm trying to think of how to get out of it. Um, I'm feeling like right now we've got in the game to be more about what's going on with the city than we have about the family, and that's definitely not what the point of the game is. Um, I mean, it's tough because really interesting things are happening with the city, but right now I'm trying to think of how do we bring it back into that family drama space. Um, so this is part of Apocalypse World. Is um, is being open about decision making. Um, I'm not sure where I've landed right now. I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on how things are going, where they would like to see the game going. Seeing if we can get it, if we can get it back to the territory the game was intended. Should we get it back into that territory? Those types of questions. Oop. Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
I tried to click to unmute and I accidentally clicked to disable the video. I would like to, if possible, get back into more family drama stuff. Like it's hard to complain about the family being like too functional and communicative. But yeah, it would be nice to see more of that angle. Because I mean, as fun as sort of the figuring out the stuff, dealing with the drama in the city is, the game. I mean, it does not seem quite designed to handle that as well as it does the family drama sort of stuff.
Right. It's not designed to be urban shadows. It's designed to.
Yeah, and so feels like we're turning a lot fewer keys and using fewer moves, etc. So it'd be nice to get back in that. I don't know how though. Sorry.
No, your point was good, and I was trying to jump in too early. I was just agreeing that I was looking at the keys going, well, short of me chomping people, how are we going to get some chips in this bag? And going, well, there's not really a bunch of ways that we can do that unless we skip back to other stuff. Or unless I chomp my way through this entire thing, which, yeah, that's not going to go well.
I mean, so one thing that is important about this game is if the change is too concerned about the consequences, it does make it a lot harder because the change is supposed to be where a lot of the issues stem from. They're kind of at the center of a lot of the issues.
Yeah.
So if they're careful not to cause too much trouble, then the trouble tends to be very external.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to vary the trouble I'm causing, because to me, if 20 minutes into the show, the change eats a random passerby, I'd be kind of like, yep, but it's this moment. So I'm like trying to vary it a little instead of just, and then I eat this guy, and then I eat that guy.
I mean, what the moves of what the keys, what I'm trying to do with the changed was to encourage the change to do things very impulsively, like, hey, this is this person's in trouble, well, I'm going to invite them into the home, or that instant, like, the keys are designed to kind of set up that instant gratification makes things happen for the changed. If it needs more pushing in that direction, that is something that the game needs to know, so that we can design it, or so that I can design it that way. But yeah, I did notice there were a couple times that you were like, I want to do this, but there's these consequences. I'm like, but the change is not about thinking about the consequences.
Yeah, and in that case, it's me going, well, but the obvious consequences just don't sound very interesting to me, so I'm not going to push it in that direction because I don't want to deal with that fallout sort of thing.
Yeah,
which is, again, maybe
fair.
thinking too much. And I probably should have pulled up the changed agenda beforehand because I keep forgetting what it is I'm supposed to be pushing towards so heavy.
That might help as well. Since we're playing digitally, I didn't fit the agendas easy to find on these sheets. So let's take a moment to go over that. So the changed is love your family, pursue your passions, think obstacles are small, do not recognize going too far, and enjoy the little experiences in life, especially human flesh. The moral compass is love your family, call out others' misdeeds. The ends never justify the means. See everything as black and white. And the confidant is love your family, check in with others to see how they're doing. Remember that people are more important than obstacles. Be burdened by the secrets you keep.
Yeah, and I think in this instance, I'm kind of playing in my own head a bit too much, or maybe not too much, because I'm going, well, if I totally undead out on this thing, that feels like it's kind of triggering then a wrap up of the story, and I don't want to force that now. We've got a whole other session.
Right. So. Yeah, and obviously there's skating a line there, and maybe the protest. I was like, okay, where's good intro places for everybody? I'm like, oh yeah, putting the zombie in a protest. That might have been a mistake on my part because that wasn't really about your passions, and it wasn't about the family. It was just kind of like, yes, let's put the changed in a bad position. So I think that was a mistake on my part. Not perfect. I don't know.
Well, if you feel like that's maybe where it went off course, could we just retcon that?
Yeah.
And maybe make it so that Aaron wasn't in the crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Would that put it back on track?
I mean, I think it was off track for most of the session. I think the protest was probably a miss. I mean, I think it was fine for Barbara because that's definitely Barbara's deal. I think part of the issue I'm having is I'm not sure exactly what Aaron wants. Like not just in the instant moment of gratification, but like other than wanting to get along with your family, I'm not sure where to push buttons with Aaron. I know I can push buttons with Barbara right now with Ice. I can push buttons with Claire with her job. I'm not sure what non-undead buttons I can push with Aaron.
I don't know. Had been doing it pretty heavily that Erin's main investment is in her family and trying not to be a burden to them. So it was when things come up that mean she has to work against their interests, then that's the main decision point. But I could loop in other things if that's not sufficient.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the way to think about it is if you lived your life where all you cared about was maintaining your needs and caring for your family? Are you living an exciting and interesting life? And I think that's what characters and I think that's part of the design. I need to make sure that's something that characters have, because I think that's what's going to make them interesting characters, is to have more than just the basic I'm interested in my family and maintaining my my basic needs.
And I think that's where it's also sort of bumping up against real life things. I'm like, but if I realize that my existence is problematic for other people, then I must, do more emotional labor and try to make myself acceptable, sort of thing, and not have extra goals on the side, where looping them in seems really weird and counterintuitive.
The thing is well, I mean, you're basically saying, hey, I barely, I'm investing all of my spoons into maintaining these two things. And I know a lot of people who do that because of various struggles in their lives, and I get it. And it creates huge I think I wanted a game that showed that family is one of those reasons why you don't just have to do that. I don't know.
Has this been a problem in any of the or something you've encountered in any of the one shots? Or has it just been with this game going on for multiple sessions that it's come out?
I think it's a little of column A and a little of column B. One thing that has been different in the one shots has been in the character creations. Like, people have gotten really like into character and like are like, yes, this character really wants this, and this character, and it's been very natural that characters have come up with desires, especially the changed. The three changed I had before was 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 a couple where the change was very lustful and still like very like the changed very much like his eye candy. The second one was the changed was a teenager, so he cared about all sorts of teenager-y things. And then the third one, that changed was a single mother, and totally was like had her BFF who was a terrible influence, and just like totally like drove right into that like impulsiveness. So maybe it's the online thing, and that with online you don't have the reminders aren't there the same way. Maybe it was a hole that I just didn't see before because of the players I had, and that's not against you guys. It's just when you play test games and you end up play testing at cons, there's a good chance that you have very outgoing players, and if you get some players that aren't the same way, you might discover a flaw like that, and I think that's good for play testing. It tells me that's something that I need to address, is what happens when how do we make sure that players just kind of take the hard turn into it.
I mean, something, and I don't know if this would be in line with the way that the change is set up, but Because the way you were describing the way that the changed act and some of those one-shots, it sounded maybe that they weren't just impulsive, that they had some sort of desire beyond the impulse, sort of like the other players do. And so maybe, I don't know if that was built into the change so that they also had some sort of desire that was outside the family that they were striving for, in addition to those constantly impulsive desires.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah, that sounds kind of right to me, because I was going, everyone else is picking out their desires for it, and I'm just kind of like, nope, stuff's going to happen. And then I'm going to eat a guy's face, where maybe it's unintentionally encouraging me to act a bit more reactively than I ought to.
Yeah, no, I can totally see that. You know, I guess the question is how do you make the changed want want things both on an instinctive level as well as want things just personally for themselves. And what I mean is, actually, now that I'm thinking more about this, this is a problem I saw before, just not with the changed. And this is actually what caused me to make the desires in the game, was that some of the other roles, specifically like the enabler, and another playbook that I cut out of the game, they were so devoted to family concerns that they never looped back around and caused the drama and wanted their own things, and that's what instituted the desires. This was the first time where I've seen the person playing the changed, not picking up on the, oh yeah, I should do problematic things, and have things that I want that that I pursue impulsively, that turns out to be problematic. I don't know. I think we've gotten a little bit away of why I brought this up, because really the goal of it wasn't just talking about the design, but also saying, well, what do we do to the game to bring it back on course?
Well, as much fun as I'm having with Barbara and Ice, we could maybe do another time skip where that's over. I mean, if that's causing some of the problem, and then that might bring it back to the family. I don't know.
And I'm back on the, can I react differently to make it work better for the changed? But the other react differently seems like eating people in a crowded place, where I'm not really sure that would improve the game.
Yeah, and I don't want you to feel like that's your only impulsive choice here, and that's why I think we need to, I'm like, oh, hey, yeah, we need to make sure that the changed wants things. As far as getting rid of the ice stuff, I don't think I don't like the idea of saying, I don't think we attached to ice because it was a problematic thing. I think we attached to ice because we were lacking attachments other places. And just getting rid of ice doesn't, ice might be a distraction, and I think recognizing that it's a distraction is good. Cutting it out completely, I prefer the decision of, let's find things that are more interesting so that ice isn't the only thing on the table. I think what the game might need is some love interest.
Not opposed to that. I also definitely would not be opposed to doing another larger time skip and sort of finding some sources of family drama to fill in the blanks, and then so we come back to a situation that's a little that not that the current situation isn't volatile, but a situation that's more volatile in terms of the family itself and not in terms of the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
True. Because I guess we're all sort of united on this front, and
Yeah,
maybe it should be more struggle to be a functional family.
We're just too supportive and honest and communicative. It's a problem.
Well, yeah, I think so. So I think what happened was our big challenge to begin with was that Erin was hiding what her needs actually was from the family, and we resolved that without introducing any new, without adding any new fragility to the family. So once that was resolved, then all the threats that all the struggles we had became external.
Yeah, and the only real fragility we added was the, okay, but who is it okay for Aaron to eat? And then it became the, well, I guess you're picking decent enough people, we won't complain about it. And that kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah.
I think Claire's sort of being pulled into put more of themselves into their work and to take these opportunities and climb the ladders as far as being like a writer / journalist maybe is concerned, is a definite possible source of tension, but I don't think that can I don't think that can like be support the entirety of the conflict,
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely think that can be part of it, at least.
What do we want to do about today's session? Are we to the point where we think we know how to go forward and play today? Do we want to try to? Do we want to just try to come back next week and see if we can figure this out? I mean, I'm going to say, I think you guys did a great job. I think I'm not going to pretend to be disappointed in this game. This was the first campaign playtest, and we've had a lot of snags along the way with scheduling and and a smaller family than we kind of wanted, and just working things out. So I don't want to feel you guys to feel like, oh, hey, this game is failing. I have heard of games that are much further along that have had much more disastrous play tests. At the same time, I want to
excessive emotional labor thing. I'm going, oh no, I'm failing the game. I must play a better changed.
Well, the way I see it is, unless someone is just completely ignoring things about the game, if someone is not hitting, the tone of character correctly, that tells me that there's a problem with the design, not a problem with the player.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this a little bit, I think, at the end of last session, but I don't know, like, part of my issue, I guess, if I've been struggling with Claire and being the confidant at all, it's because of sort of not having a lot in the way of secrets to keep or to pry out. And I don't, I don't think that's the fault of any player. Like, I think things have progressed. Like, I think everybody's acted reasonably and like been like communicative while still protecting their own interests. And I don't think there's a problem there. I don't know if there was some way to, there was a way to, I guess, ensure the creation of more secrets.
No, I was realizing that too. Like, we're not generating the secrets and conflict and things like that.
I definitely backed off that because I was trying to follow the list of, this is a game about a functional family, so let's do the functional things. And I was trying to avoid the dysfunctional side of things. And probably I should have been lying to you guys more.
Well, but the thing about functional families is functional families aren't perfect. They struggle with those things. There are secrets among functional families. Sometimes they cause great amounts of stress. So it's one of those, like, the reason why I say this game is not about dysfunctional families is because the way I see families portrayed in a lot of media and a lot of games is, the family members are terrible to each other. They assume that the other party is going to love them even when they're shitty to each other. They care more about themselves than each other. They are, manipulative. And those are things that are very easy to accidentally do. But I didn't want a game about characters just being awful. So when I say this is not a game about dysfunctional families, the goal is not to become dysfunctional. That doesn't mean that you should just start off like avoiding anything that might be bad for the family, because it actually turns into a situation, and this is a real life thing, where somebody in the family, in order to not cause drama for the family, basically all they do is takes care of their baser needs and the family. And that's their life. And that is actually a different type of dysfunction.
I totally misread what you were going for then, because I was thinking these dysfunctional things aren't supposed to come up, or I'm playing the family wrong. So I was totally doing my existence is making the family better because I'm already a zombie and that's too much to ask of them sort of thing.
No, and my God, that's depressing. That's depressing. But that's also the metaphor for a lot of these situations. It's the metaphor for why some people stay in the closet. It's a metaphor for how people try to cover up and pretend and try to hide their disabilities or feel like a burden. And and there's a lot of other stories about that, and I wanted to go at it from the family angle. So I think you hit the exact the fact that you were doing that actually means that you totally fell in to the conceit of the game in the way that makes the game that doesn't work, because that is I think that's the metaphor.
So you're welcome and sorry, because as you were saying that, I was going, whoa, dang, this is getting a little close to home. But also I totally, without really intentionally doing it, fell into so all of my spoons go to my existence and making sure that my family is happy.
I've done that. I completely admit that I've done that for a while. In fact, pretty much every time I visit my family, I just switch into that mode where it's like, yep, I'm super agreeable. I am helping out.
Hard same, because then I can leave afterward and go back to pursuing other interests.
Nope, and it's the reason I live a few states away from all my family members is because I can do that for a weekend. I can do it for a week. I'm not going to do it for my life. So it's interesting. I will have to think about what needs to happen in game design to make it not happen. I think so. We're at like the 2.5 hour point. I don't think I have a good enough idea of how to get going to a point where it's going to be an enjoyable rest of the session. Because I want to thank you guys for playtesting. You should not feel like you're here just to play test the game. This should be enjoyable for you guys. So if I don't feel confident that I can use your time in a way that you would enjoy, I'm going to be honest about that and not ask not ask you to use up any more of your time. I apologize that things kind of got to this point, but it's a play test. I hope that I was clear enough in posting of the game that playtesting, we cannot predict how things will go always in playtesting because the game still needs refinement. I will try to think of a plan for how to come back and have a great last session. I will be honest, the last week and the next week are probably going to be busy for me. So I'm not sure how much time I'm going to devote to it. This is definitely giving me a lot of information of how to come back and plan out the game. However, since this is the end of the session, I am still going to take out what we have.
Oh no.
Which actually, wow, we just got really unlucky. I think this was also a struggle in the game. So what's left in the bag are 2 red chips and 4 green chips. Can you imagine how different the game would have been if we drew some of these fucking green chips?
I was thinking that the only thing we had in that bag must be black chips because all we got were black chips. So
yeah, I think you drew one red chip, and that's why the Chief Rodriguez started getting hard on it about asking questions about your alibi.
Did we draw a green chip at some point just because the text from Veronica, I thought, might have been green chip related?
No.
As a job. Okay.
So one of the things I can do is if I'm given a golden opportunity, I can just make moves of the appropriate color. So, like, for instance, yes, this is a golden opportunity. And actually, no, the call from Veronica, I was treating as the foreshadow. Because I knew that we were having less sessions. I'm like, well, the math of that, hitting 10 is actually, we just hit 10 on green chips. So my math was actually pretty close that I thought hitting 10 probably happens in session 3 or 4. So we were pretty much dead on with what my guess of the timing was. I think I'm going to stop the broadcast and we can have further discussions about the game